Okay, my lovelies, this is a nice relaxing practice today. And we always love to start lying down on our mats. And just begin to relax. Coming into Shavasana, just turn the palms upwards and just let your hands relax at the sides of your bodies. No tension, just become aware of your breath. So enjoying for a moment, following your inhale through the nostrils. And as we do this, perhaps just drawing our awareness down to our belly as we breathe in. If we can lower the breath to the belly, breathe in, feel the breath move up into our chest. And a lovely slow exhalation out. And as we do this, you might notice the temperature around the nostrils as you breathe in is cool. And there is a slight warmth as you breathe out. And just following the temperature of your inhale and exhale is a really lovely way to relax and calm down and become quite meditative if you want to. Something you can do anytime, any place, if you're sitting in the doctor's surgery or in a queue somewhere at a checkout, then just following your breath is something that you can do and no one else knows you're doing. So let's ground our energies, and what I mean by that is take our energetic roots down. So imagine you have tree roots coming out the soles of your feet, and just in your mind's eye see them growing quite deep into the earth, spreading across the earth, all the little branches of the roots coming off. And this is linked with what we call the root chakra, which resides at the base of our spine. And these are energy centers that are located within our body. You can't see them, you can't necessarily feel them, but they are very linked to our endocrine system. So the root is very linked with our feeling of safety and security in life. And think of the colour red now at the base of your spine, like a red rose. And now draw your awareness to just below your navel, the area below navel, lower belly and lower back. And this is our sacral area, which is linked with orange and our relationships and our emotions and going with the flow of life. If we feel resistant or we're not going with the flow, then this can be slightly out of balance. So next, bring your awareness to above your navel and your mid part of your body. And this is yellow, the solar plexus, linked with our feelings of taking action, motivation in life, our self-worth. It's our ego here. And then come to your heart. Heart center is a green or a pink, green like nature, and maybe whatever pink comes to mind. And this is love and compassion. Now tune into the area around your neck and your throat. This throat chakra is a pale blue like the sky or turquoise like the sea. And it is linked with how you communicate in life to yourself and to other people. And then we come up to our third eye, that area between our brows, and this is linked with indigo or sometimes purple, our intuition center. And then finally the seventh chakra, just above the top of your head, our crown chakra, is linked with our connection to source, whatever you think that is for you. Everybody has very different ideas, so it's our link to everything around us. So I'm going to join you lying down. And we'll start with our gentle stretches. So on your next inhale, taking your right arm up and over, just let the hand fall to the floor behind you. And then we're going to lift our toes and bring the foot into a flexed position. And we're going to just enjoy stretching just the right side. So lifting the arm up, gently lowering at the hip and stretching the leg down, foot flexed so that you feel a lovely stretch in your calf muscle. And then part the fingers and stretch through the palm of your hand and just enjoy creating some space here. Let's point the toes of the right foot now and enjoy that sensation over the foot and the ankle and the shin. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, just gently let your arm come back down to the side of your body. And palms up again in Shavasana, and just notice that very simple difference from a stretch there. We'll do the same the other side. So inhale, left arm. Noticing how it feels to move through the shoulder joints. And again, we'll lift the toes up and put the foot into a flexed position, gently lowering the leg and lifting the arm and creating some space here, almost like making the left side longer than the right now. And then we'll gently point the toes, stretch through the palm of the hand. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, just let your arm float down again to the side of your body. Maybe you can feel some tingling in your arms or your fingers. This stimulates your lungs and your heart meridian. And then your next breath, taking both arms up and over. And maybe just tuck your chin in a little bit so that you can lengthen through your neck. And then we'll just flex the feet, then point the toes, then flex again. And just move your ankles backwards and forwards, enjoying the sensation that you feel through your legs. Lifting the arms, you feel your shoulder blades stretch apart. And then when you're ready, relax. Take the arms down on the exhale. And then palms up into Shavasana for a moment. Take a lovely deep breath in and maybe a long sigh on the exhale. And just feel your body melt a little bit more into the mat. So we'll draw the right knee into the chest. And just place your hands around your shin. And we're going to take a lovely deep breath in. And then as we exhale, just lift your forehead towards your knee. And then follow the whole exhale as it leaves your body. And if you can, just hold the breath outside of the body for a moment. And then when you're ready, breathe in, come down. We're going to do the same the other side. So swap the legs over. Bring your left knee in. And we deep inhale. Then we lift up, bring forehead to knee as we exhale. Just feel your body, belly falling back to the spine. Hold the breath out for a moment and then breathe in when you're ready to come down. You don't have to hold that too long. Everyone will have a different comfortable length holding there. So bring both knees in to your chest now. And we'll do that a third time. So a deep inhale, belly up to chest. Exhale, lift the head towards the knees, only as much as you're capable today. Feel the whole breath leave the body and then hold the breath outside. External retention. Inhale and then come down. Hold onto your knees with your hands. Gently rock from side to side. Or make little circles with your back, around on your back. And this is lovely for massaging your back of your body and your digestive system. And just enjoy connecting with your body. So often throughout our day we're busy in our mind and we're busy with our physical body, but we don't always connect with everything that we're feeling. Okay, so we'll roll up to seated and we'll work through our warm-up sequence. So come onto your cushions. If you're comfortable to. Not everybody likes to. But we're going to sit for a moment and do all of the joints warm up. So when you sit on these cushions, take the knees out wide. And if you can bring one foot in front of the other, then you can. If you're not comfortable like that, or you haven't got the mobility through your hips, for your knees and hips, then you literally, like Jocelyn does, she sits with her legs out. So it's however you can just sit for a moment. These cushions are wonderful because what they do, they're shaped a little bit like a wedge, and so they rotate the pelvis forward a little bit, so we're not slumped. Quite often when we sit down, we're slumped, and this just sort of lengthens the body upwards. So bring your first finger and thumb together and just rest the backs of your hands. This is Chin Mudra, and by doing this, we circulate the energy back through our body rather than it all leaving through the fingers. So let's just close our eyes for a moment. Again, notice if you're slouched in your spine, whether you can lift through in a comfortable seated position here. And notice your breath. Notice whether you're very chest breathing or whether you can direct the breath to belly. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the chin down to the chest. Just pausing here for a moment, we stretch through the back of the neck and the back of the body. Notice what tension you're holding. Notice what you're feeling through the upper back and the shoulders. And then breathe into center, bring the head to center, and then breathe out and take your chin up towards the ceiling, looking upwards, feeling a lovely stretch through our throat here. And then we'll breathe into center, and then we'll take the chin down again. So we do all these twice. And notice if you can just relax a little bit more through your shoulders and neck. Chin up to the ceiling. And then returning to center. We're going to tilt the head to the right. And just enjoy that stretch through the side of your neck. Let's come over to the left. And then same again. Noticing if one side feels slightly different today. And then left again. Coming back to center. Now we're going to twist the head as if we're looking over the right shoulder. Try to keep the shoulders level, and then we'll go over to the left. And often you'll find that maybe you have more flexibility one side than the other. My right side's always a bit more loose. And then left again. All these things we notice when we bring our awareness to them. So come back to center and then take your chin down and just taking your head in whichever direction, we're going to take it into a full rotation, nice and slowly, all the way round. Listening to all the funny clicks and noises we get, and then just reverse in the other direction. Our neck and throat are very linked with how we see other sides of people's situations and the world. So coming back to center, if you've got your eyes closed, just blink them open, bring your hands out in front of you, and then we're going to wiggle the fingers. Take the thumbs inside, then outside, and just alternate, warming up all the joints of our fingers. And then palms up, and then down. Enjoying this stretch over and under. When you stretch under the inner part of the arm, that's lung and heart, and the outer edge of the arm is large and small intestine. And then we'll rotate. I always feel like the Queen when I wave like this. And then the other way. Lovely. Turn the palms up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fingers to shoulders, and just become aware of your elbows. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Leave the fingers on the shoulders, and then we're going to just take some really lovely movements surrounding our shoulders. This is the best one. Always hold a lot of tension in our shoulders and upper back, and the other way a few times. Oh, feels looser already. Okay, lovelies. Off your cushions, just pop them aside and then extend your legs out. Okay, when you come into this position, just walk the pads of your buttocks out to the side so that you really do feel the connection of your sit bones to the mat. And then just rest into your hands. We're going to open the, like we did our fingers, just wiggle the toes open and then curl the toes. Opening and closing. And maybe you can actually notice the difference in the temperature when the toes are open and closed. And then gently point your toes and then flex. Really tighten my calves today. And then just take one leg over the other. It doesn't matter which. We're going to rotate the ankle just a few times in each direction. Notice if it's always easier one way. Lovely. Swap sides. I definitely am more coordinated one way with my foot, and then going the other direction, it feels strange. Lovely. Relax that. We're going to bend the right knee. Hands under the thigh, and just literally enjoy moving the knee joint. It doesn't have to be a high movement, but just tune into how your knee joint feels. And then popping the foot down, we'll place the hand around the shin, lift the foot away from the mat, and then we're just going to create some circles, like we're stirring a pot. and warming up our right hip joint. All these movements are called Paramuktasana 1. It's a series called Paramuktasana, and they're just reversed now. It's anti-rheumatic movements for the body. So really worthwhile doing now and then when you can remember them all. Let's swap sides. So firstly, let's do the knee, hands under the thigh, and just noticing how this joint feels. Sometimes one side will feel different from the other. And then now the shin, my hands around the shin, and then we'll do the hip. And then the other way. How do they feel if there's a difference in the hips? It's always good to notice these things. Now, if you can, just draw the feet together. Come into what we call butterfly. And then just gently lean forward. Just become quite soft here. Don't have to be rigid in our spine. Just notice the stretch that you feel through the hips. We can hold a lot of emotional energy in the pelvis and the hips. And so when we move gently, we can start to release some stuff that can be decades old in our body. Okay, so gently, just lift up. We will come into cat-cow and just warm up our spine. So if you join me on all fours. And so in this position, we call it tabletop. And we bring our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. Just for a few moments, tune into your breath, because if we start moving without the breath, then we're not coordinated. It's not yoga. So just enjoy an inhale and an exhale. And then on your next exhale, start to arch your back up like a stretching cat, pushing into the mat, the hands and the tops of the feet. And then on the inhale, the belly drops and we lift the head and the tailbone into cow pose. And then we alternate with the breath. So arching up into cat. And then belly drops as we breathe in into cow. And just notice your spine, whether there's any tender spots. Sometimes the lumbar is the part that most people have a little bit of tenderness. Or it could be between the shoulder blades at the top. And then something we often move into is wild cat-cow. So you might want to just sort of watch me. This is where we start to kind of introduce a little bit of movement into the side of the body, and we almost rotate in sort of like a figure of 8, coming up and down. And it's just lovely to stretch into the sides. Everyone's going to look different when they do this. So just let your body move organically. Wiggle the hips round in a nice circle, shoulders rotate. And then if you can, just reverse that movement. This is really lovely for your spine and your nervous system. Getting a lovely stretch through the sides of your body encourages balance in your gallbladder. And then we'll come to a stillness. Let's just rest ourselves back. Leave your hands in front of you. Take your knees wide as we come into Hatha Balasana, child's pose. And only coming down as far as you want to. Take a few breaths here. And really enjoy how your back opens up and the back ribs expand. Okay, lovely. Lift your head slowly and then walk your hands back to your body. Anyone with low blood pressure, I know there's a few here today, so we just move slowly so that we don't have any rapid movements. Okay, let's come to standing. Take your time coming up. Okay, we're up. Let's come into tree pose. Not your favourite, I know, but always good to keep trying. Tree pose is a lovely one for our root energy as well. If we're feeling a bit ungrounded, unsettled in life, then this encourages us to feel our place on the earth. So let's start with our feet about hip distance apart, And we'll open our hands in an open and receptive manner. This is mountain pose, Tadasana, and a lovely pose to always start with. So just lean into your toes for a moment. Lean back into your heels. And then just gently side to side and really find that real centre spot for you. Lifting the arches of your feet if you need to. My feet often collapse, so I really have to be mindful of lifting my arches. Okay, so tree pose. We're going to take the weight into the right leg and we're going to lift the left. Now, some of you are more comfortable having heel to ankle and just having that toe touching the mat. Some of you might like to draw the leg up. Let's bring our hands to heart centre. Don't worry if you feel wobbly here. Literally, you can just take heel and toe down and just keep yourself balanced. What also helps is if you find a knot in the wood or something on the wall behind me, and just focus on a spot. And how many of you are breathing to your belly? And how many of you are breathing in your chest? Now I've thrown you. If you feel unsafe, just bring that heel to ankle and just keep the toe on the mat. And from here, you can kind of just play with the toe coming up every now and then, if that feels safer for you. It's all about feeling grounded and safe. Lovely. Come on, let's just shake our legs out, have a go the other side. Well done. If you've not done that before, that can always be tricky. Okay.
Whether you've done it before or not.
Do you know what? If you need to come against the wall or a post or something, that's always an option too. So this is always my more wobbly side. We're going to ground with our left and explore lifting the right. So I sometimes like to start here, heel to ankle, bring hands to heart. Focus on what we call drishti, so a point that you can just gaze at. And then if you find that you can lift the toes and you feel pretty steady, then you could perhaps bring the foot to the inner shin. We don't pop it on the knee, we always avoid the knee. Lovely. Do you know what? You're all more steady that side. And often it's the other way around, isn't it? So, yeah. Wonderful. Lovely. Release. Just give your legs a little shake. Surprises you each time, doesn't it? Sometimes, with how you feel. Right, let's just stretch through the body before we come into any other movements. Let's just take feet about hip distance apart again. Inhale, take the arms up. Follow your gaze upwards. And then we're going to swan dive down. So just take the arms wide, lovely length to our spine. Come forward, bend into your knees if you need to. A nice generous bend as the spine comes down. Let yourself just hang here for a moment, ragdoll. Taking a few deep breaths, noticing the back ribs open and the chest open. On your next inhale, just roll up nice and slowly, like you're stacking your spine like little blocks. And then just roll your shoulders as we lift the head up. Lovely stretch for the body. Okay, we're going to teach, I'm going to teach Julie the earth sequence because it's the nicest, a nice gentle one. And okay, so come over to the left side of your mats. Julie, this is a really lovely sequence. There's 5 parts to it, but each bit we repeat 3 times. So it's quite, it's easy, but just follow me if you get stuck or follow the rest of us. So make a diamond shape with your first finger and thumb. Okay, inhale, take the arms up, look through the diamond. And then exhale, arms come round and down. Interlink your fingers. Breathe into your throat. Turn the palms down, breathe out. The hands come forward as we breathe in. And then round and down. Fingers link again. We do this the second time. Breathe into throat. Exhale. Arms forward. Round and down. Breathing in. Breathing out. As the arms come up, we bring the right foot to the side. We do the same things with the hands, but this time we do come into a squat. So breathe into throat. Gently bend your knees Bring the hands to the earth if you can. Come up, arms forward. Round and down. And again, throat. Squat to the earth. Arms forward. Round and down. Third time, breathing in. Come down. As we come up this time, we turn to our right. So there, your right leg should be lengthened in front of you, or your left leg is slightly bent beneath you. Bring your hands in front of you. You're still leaning back. Breathe into your heart center with the hands. And then lean forward, bend your front knee, palms away. Lean back, arms up. And then round and down to in front again. Breathe into your heart. Lean forwards, palms away. Breathe in, lean back. Arms round and down. Third time. Breathe in, love. And breathe it out, give it away. As the arms come to the ceiling, we swivel to the other side. Left leg is lengthened, right leg slightly bent. So breathing in. Lean forwards, breathe out. Lean back. Arms round and down to in front. Breathing in. Out. Up. Round and down. Last time. Breathing in. Out. Up. Come to the front. Now we come into a forward fold, which we've already done. So breathe into throat. Take the arms ahead of you, forward fold. Gently bend your knees if you need to, and as you pause at the bottom, you might want to take a breath. When you're ready, breathe in, come up. Arms round and down. Breathing in. Exhale. Bend your knees if you need to a little. Breathe in up. Once more. And forward fold. Coming up. We bring our right foot to our left and our hands to our heart, so we come back where we started. Lovely. Just close your eyes for a moment and hold your thumbs to your heartbeat. Can you notice it a little bit more rapid? And then when you're ready, just open your eyes. Okay. Take yourself down onto the mat. Take Shavasana. Corpse pose. Ooh. How's everybody feeling? All right? Nice bit of movement. It's so gentle, that sequence. Earth sequence, it's called Prithvi Namaskar in Sanskrit. And it's really lovely to link with your root energy, feeling safe and grounded, but also your heart chakra, which is linked with your feelings of love and compassion towards yourself and others. So just take the palms up, take the arms slightly further away from you and just relax here. Relax through your feet and ankles. Soften through your legs and the pelvis. Notice if you're a little bit tight in your lower back. And just take some deep breaths into the belly. Start to relax through the mid-back and your upper back. And as you soften here, you might find the chin tucks in as you lengthen in the neck. Okay. So when you're ready, let's draw our knees into our chest. Right one, then left one. And we do that right and then left because it follows the ascending colon first. So just have a nice rock from side to side. Enjoy just making some circles on your back, nourishing anything that might be tender. Okay, we'll come into bridge pose and then we will come up to standing for some Trikonasana warriors because they're quite nice to do. Okay, bring your feet to the mat and your knees bent. and your feet about hip distance apart. So if you were to reach down to the sides, you'd feel the outside edges of your feet with your hands. And then we're going to turn the palms face down. This is Setu Bandhasan, so half bridge. Before we move, I'd just like you to all engage a little of your lower, your abdominal muscles and pull in on your pelvic diaphragm. So just sort of 30% engagement in the muscles there. Right, we're going to do 3 of these. So when we inhale, we're going to lift away from the mat. So inhale, bringing the pelvis away from the mat, lifting up the hips, feeling strong through our buttocks and thighs and lower back. We're going to take a deep breath in. And then gently, as we come down, we're going to bring the upper back down first, then the middle part of the back, then the lumbar, keeping that tailbone curled forward gently. And then we're going to just roll it out back to the mat, and the neutral spine takes its shape again. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale, push up. And if you can, just bring your shoulder blades a little bit further to the spine. So bring your shoulder blades together. And this encourages a little bit more lift through your chest. Try and keep your head straight here. Take a deep breath. And then as we exhale, we'll part the shoulders and let the body just roll down again. Nice and slowly. Keep that pelvis curled forward as you just roll out the spine, like a row of beads that you set along the floor, or a bicycle chain. Imagine your spine coming down like that. And then we'll do one more here. So deep breath in. Coming up, coming again a little bit more onto your shoulders. If you can bring your shoulder blades together behind your back. Take a deep breath. And then gently part your shoulders as you exhale and rolling down. Okay. You can bring yourself into Shavasana, just relax your legs out and just notice. We only did 3 of those, but perhaps you can feel a nice sort of warmth or buzziness around your hamstrings, your thighs, your buttocks, a little bit of energy, chi and prana flowing through our body. Maybe even feel a little bit of tingling in the feet. All active areas. Okay, so bring the knees in again, right one, then left one. Another little rock, and just enjoy how that feels on your back for a moment. I sometimes like to take my hands onto my knees, take my knees further away, and then just zigzag from side to side as I draw my knees towards me, and it feels like you can really touch all parts of the back as you just rock from side to side, bringing knees in and then out. Okay, let's come into Happy Baby while we're here before we move into other things. So Happy Baby is where we draw the soles of the feet up to the ceiling and we take the knees out to the side, bending at the knees. If you're not sure, you can have a look at what I'm doing. I look like a happy baby. And they often rock from side to side. If you can't get your hands on the soles of your feet, pop them on the backs of your thighs here. It's a very glamorous pose, this one, isn't it? But it's lovely for your hips and the hip flexors. So anyway, bring the knees into centre and just have another lovely little rock from side to side. It's just when you're in this position, it's nice to come into some poses as we're lying here. So we're going to come up to standing again. Come up slowly. Just be aware of any dizziness, okay? Have a moment as you roll up and then we'll come up to standing together. Okay, so I'd like to do Trikonasana and Warriors because they're some poses that are very good for your grounding and legs. Okay, if you all turn towards the mirror, I'm going to face the same way initially and then I'll turn around just so that you can see me. If you can bring your feet about a leg length apart, as far apart as you can, basically, that is comfortable. And make sure your feet are forward facing, not turned out. Okay. Bring your arms up to the sides, and when we do this, I'd like you to sort of draw the energy through your legs. Lift at your sternum. Tailbone is curled under. And then from here, rotate your whole arm over, and then just your wrists back round, and you'll feel quite active through your biceps. Okay, and then we're going to draw the hands to hips. Why we do that is to sort of feel the energy come up through our body. So we're going to turn in the toes of our left foot and out the toes of our right, so that you're facing towards me. Notice where your elbows point, because it's where your hips point. So if we can just rotate them so that we're coming into a nice alignment. I'm going to turn this way now. Okay, so take your right arm out, and then very gently we're going to tilt and bring the hand down to the inside of our knee or our calf muscle. Notice if your left shoulder curls forward. Okay, so if you can bring your left shoulder up, and then we're going to raise the left arm to the ceiling. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just coming into this lovely side stretch. And if you can look up to the ceiling, if you have the strength and you feel okay through the neck, then you can do. Lovely, okay. Just lift your body up. You're right, lovely. Get dizzy. It's a balancing pose because we've got the feet wide apart. Okay, from here, I'd like you to just creep your front foot forward a bit so that you've got a bit more space between your feet. And now we're going to bend into that front knee. When you look down, notice if you're covering your little toes. You can see your big toe, but not your little toes. And then we're going to bring the arms out again in that same way. Right arm forward, left arm back. Now we gaze ahead at the middle finger of our front hand. Drishti again. Okay, from here, let's bring the elbow to the knee. And then our left arm comes alongside the ear of our head. So a lovely long stretch all the way. Dot, just rotate your arm, your top arm, bring it, that's it, and then next to your ear. That's it, lovely. Okay, wonderful, come up. Just bring your feet forward facing. And we'll take our elbows into our hands, take a deep breath in. And then we'll forward fold and just have a moment's rest before we come and do the other side. Just gently let your body hang forward. Hold on to your elbows, and it might feel like you can pull your upper arms away from your body, and it feels like a lovely stretch in the upper back here. You can shake your head, say no, and just releasing the neck. We're going to bring the hands down to the mat. We're going to walk our feet inward, so heel toe them in. Get them just fairly close, and we'll roll up, come to a standing. Roll your shoulders. Take a moment. Take a breath. Okay, other side. In Hatha, we always do what we do one side, we'll always do the other. Okay, so begin again with your legs about a leg length apart. Lift your arms, lift the energy through your body. Rotate the hands up, and then the wrists back round, hands to hips. Turning your right toes inwards, and then your left toes towards the window. Notice where your elbows are, and just swing your hips back round so your body's in a nice alignment. Lift your left arm, and then gently we're coming into triangle pose. So lower yourself down, hand towards the knee or the inner calf. When you find you're comfortable there, just lifting your right arm up. Okay. Some of you will be able to see me in the mirror if you're not sure. Lovely. Lift up. Just create some space between your feet a little bit. And we're going to bend into that front left knee. You're turning the other way. That's it. Okay. Palms face down. So just palms facing down. Lovely. Wonderful. And then elbow to knee. Some of you are ahead of me already. And then Parsvakonasana, this is called side lunge. Lovely. If you're looking, if you can, look up to the ceiling under your upper arm. Wonderful. Come up. Forward facing feet to the mirror. Clasp your hands with your elbows, or your elbows with your hands even. And then gently as you exhale, come forwards. Have a nice sigh on the way down. Bend your knees if you need to, and really just enjoy the moment. This allows your spine to just create some space here. When we're standing up, everything's compressed. As we hang forward, everything can kind of open up a little bit. Okay, bring your hands to the mat. Draw the feet in together, heel toe. Slowly roll up. Take your time. Notice if you're feeling dizzy. Roll the shoulders. Okay, lovelies. Let's come down to the mat. Have a moment lying down in Shavasana. Take your time. Okay, so the pauses in between our poses are just as powerful as our poses and sequences. Take a moment here to really notice where you're holding tension in your body still. Often in the back. Check in with your buttocks. Notice the neck and shoulders. And also notice if you're very tight in your face, in your forehead, the muscles around your eyes, muscles in your cheeks and in your jaw. See if you can just release and let everything go. Just close the eyes for a moment. Let the lips part away, let the lower jaw relax. And just become connected back with your breath. As we're lying here, we'll just do a little breathing exercise. So if you can bring your right hand onto your belly, it's a 3-part breath. So those of you that are happy with this, you don't have to. But if you want to feel this, bring the right hand onto belly, left hand onto your chest. So the 3-part breath is as it sounds. We're going to breathe in a little bit on the inhale into the belly, then a little bit more up into the chest, and then the third part up towards the collarbone, the clavicle. And then a nice slow exhalation out. And the reason we have the hands here is so we can feel the individual parts of the body. So breathe into belly, chest, and up towards the head. And then exhale. And we'll just do one more here. So breathe into belly, chest, head. Trying to make it a nice fluid breath in rather than starting and stopping. A nice slow exhale. So release your hands. Very, very calming breath, the 3-part breath. If you're ever awake in the night or you're feeling anxious, and just try a breath like that, and your focus comes back to your body rather than perhaps what you're worrying about. Okay, bring the knees in, have a little rock. Gently, we're going to roll up to seated. We'll come into a twist because we've come forwards and backwards with our body a little bit today. But we'll come into a twist. So come to a seated position. And then we're going to bend our right knee, pop the foot over the other side, over the left knee. Okay, nice tall spines. When we come into a twist, we don't want to twist crumpled like this. We want to have a lovely leg. Someone's pulling me up from a cord here. Okay, take your left arm out in front And this now wraps round our front knee. And then bring your right arm out and we're going to swing it behind us. Bring the hands or the fingertips to the mat. Okay, so looking over your right shoulder now. Use the breath. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine, lift up. Exhale, explore coming into this twist gently. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Don't go more than perhaps 70% of this twist. You don't want to hurt yourself or feel any pain. If you feel any pain in yoga, always come out of it. That's the warning sign. It's okay to feel a bit of discomfort and challenge yourself, but never pain. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, looking a little bit more. Notice where you feel this, whether it's deep in the buttock or perhaps the back ribs. Let's breathe in and come round to the front. Have a moment where you just uncross your legs, lean into your arms for a moment. Maybe just close your eyes and feel whatever you feel. Take a breath into the belly. Notice the after effects. And then, okay, sitting up again, we'll do the other side. Left foot over right knee. Nice tall length. Right arm round the front, left arm behind. Fingertips or palm on the mat. Looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Doing it gradually. You don't have to do this all at once. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Exploring the twist. Notice if one side's better than the other, whether you've got a bit more range or movement. Where do you feel it most here? Nice stretch through the buttocks. This is wonderful for your gallbladder meridian. Okay, breathing in, let's come back to the front. Have a moment just lying down. After a twist, it's always very advisable and also quite nourishing just to feel your body. Notice where it feels vibrant. Maybe you can feel cold spots or warm spots, or it's tingly, where signs of chi sort of shifting and moving through your body. So we've come into a twist, we've come forwards. We haven't come backwards yet. Let's take a few moments in banana. So coming into a side stretch of the body. So from this position, we're going to bring our feet to the lower right corner of the mat. And then bring your right foot over your left ankle. Okay. Release your buttocks. Sometimes you might feel sort of tight around the buttocks here. Then we're going to just shuffle our shoulders up to the top right. So everything's moved to the right, causing us to look like a banana, and a lovely stretch through the left side of our body. The left side is in Sanskrit Ida, which is linked with our feminine energy. If you want to bring your arms overhead, you can do. Nice. It gives a little bit more stretch into the lats. Or you can bend at your elbows and come into what we call cactus arms, or kind of goalpost arms. Lovely stretch through the top of the chest here. Or if you're quite happy, you can just leave your arms by your sides, a little bit further away from the body, which is very relaxing. I like to kind of move through all three, and depending on how I feel that day, leave them where it feels most comfortable. So connect with your breath and really enjoy noticing how, as you breathe in, it feels like it fans to the left side of your body. Notice which parts of your body move most as you breathe here, really opening into your left lung. Okay, when you're ready, just uncross your feet Bring yourself back into a neutral spine alignment and let everything just reset just for a moment. Just take a few breaths. We've only really moved a few inches top and bottom, but I bet you can really feel a lovely after effect in your left side. It's quite remarkable. Just a few inches tops and bottom. Let's do this. If you want to bring your knees in, let's just do that for a second. Always nice to have a little rock in between. It kind of resets the button before we come into the other side. So we're going to do the same the other side. Bring your feet to the lower left corner now. And left foot over right ankle. Now shuffle your shoulders to the left, top left. Okay, only to the point where you are comfortable, don't overstretch. Arms overhead if you wish. Or cactus arms. Or beside your body. Try to relax your buttocks and your lower back. Notice if you're tense in either side of your waist. And just trying to soften where you find muscular tension. Relax your shoulders if they feel like they've crept up towards your ears. And again, drawing your awareness to your breath and how it now fans into the right side of our body. Pingala, the masculine side of ourselves. We all have a masculine and a feminine energy. It's not about the male and female. Masculine can be more black and white. Our feminine could be more of the grey areas we see in life. Keep relaxing the sides of your waist if you felt like you've tensed up a little bit. And then when you're ready, let's just bring ourselves very gently back into a center alignment, Shavasana, neutral spine. And just let yourself soften here for a moment. Really just enjoying the nourishing feeling now through the right side of your body. Perhaps you feel more balanced. You can definitely feel that you're not out of balance after having just done one side. Okay, bringing knees in. Nice and gently, little rock. You can bring your head up to your knees if you wish, if that feels nice to stretch a little bit more through your back. Okay, and I think before we come into relaxation, we'll come into waterfall. So if you've got your cushions, your moon cushions, these little curved ones, we'll bring our legs up. Some of you don't need to use them. If you just want to raise your legs, you can, but otherwise just sort of roll yourself up a little, wedge this under your buttocks, and we'll bring the legs up. Curl it so that it curls towards your hips, so it sort of rounds towards you. Yeah, only because it's like a wedge shape, so that supports. So either with or without, it's everyone's choice. Just raise your legs, let your arms rest at the side, palms up. And if you wish, you can close your eyes. You don't have to have your legs rigid. You can have a nice little bend in your knee. But if you can bring your awareness to your breath into the belly, perhaps notice if tucking your chin in ever so slightly softens through your neck and your head and face. And again, just trying to relax all the facial muscles. Let your lower jaw soften. And just enjoy belly breathing, the movement of the belly up into the chest. And maybe if you can take your internal gaze with your eyes closed to your third eye, the area between your brows, and just looking ahead into the void. Maybe you see colour or shapes moving or memories or images come to mind. Just being curious as to what downloads you get or images. When we quieten the mind, often we get a lot of answers. So just witness your thoughts for a moment. Notice your feelings. Checking in with how you feel physically. And when you're ready, we'll just gently bend our knees, bring our legs down. Have a moment just to soften here. Pop the moon cushion to your side. Take Shavasana for a moment. Just lying on your mat. And just observe your body, your energies. Take a few deep breaths. Let the mat support you. And then gently, when you're ready, we'll come into relaxation. So if you'd like to pull a blanket over you or put cushion under your knees, support your head in any way, just whatever way you can become most comfortable. Would you like some tune? Would you like a tune? Yes. Lovely. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I know there's two that you have as favourites. Let me have a little look. So we have the Ramadasa. Yeah? We'll go with that one today. Okay. So Julie, this is a lovely mantra sung. It's you can sing it in your own head actually. It's really simple. It's Ramadasa. Sa, say, so, hung. And it repeats. It's quite repetitive, but it's beautifully relaxing. And it is very linked with distance healing. So if anybody here has anyone that they know could do with some healing, or even themselves, even if it's healing into the past or even into the future, it's a beautiful energetic healing. So let me find it again. And I know a lot of you just love it. You can sing it in your mind. Join in. Just let your mind drift. Very gently. There's no need to move just yet, but just draw your awareness back to where you are in the room. Just begin to notice your breath. Just scan through your body and become aware of how you're feeling. What feels better? What maybe you still notice? Perhaps some of you went into a deeper state, noticing if you remember where the mind went, or whether you were alert and you can follow your thoughts. So just gently start to move fingers and toes. Just give them a little wiggle. Feel the movement in the outer parts of your body. Maybe even just gently start to roll the head from side to side. Take a deep breath if that feels good. And a nice long sigh. And maybe have a lovely stretch. You can bring the hands overhead and the knees into chest. Whatever feels right to move gently. Noticing if you were very deeply relaxed and reluctant to come back, or whether you were ready to, without judgment, just aware of your feelings. Bringing the knees in for a little hug and a rock. And before you come up to seated, just have a thought of something that you're really grateful for. Just have a thought of gratitude every single day. We often do, but it's nice to be conscious and acknowledge it too. So gently joining me seated, we will chant 3 Oms together to end our practice. So when we Om, we are connecting with the resounding sound of the universe, as they say. So bring your hands to Chin Mudra, however you're comfortable sitting. There'll be 3 Oms, and then after the 3rd Om, just a small silence as we connect with the crown. The Oms connect us with our 3rd eye, and the silence is linked with the crown. So let's just close our eyes. We'll take a deep breath in together. And then when you're ready, we'll bring our palms together, keeping the eyes closed. Just rub the palms till you start to feel some lovely heat, some prana generated here. And then we'll bring the palms over the eyes. Feel the warmth with the eyes closed and whatever colours you see. And then as we blink, the light starts to come through. We'll part our fingers gently and draw our hands to our heart centre. Hands at heart centre. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, my loves.